It's Frickin' a Rappin', a podcast with a purpose. I'm King Cooper here with Alex, Flizzo, and the Ben. This will be my last episode before leave and could be our last day on Earth. Let's make it count. We'll start by playing Wrecking or Rapping. It's more Eminem from the album Coup de Grace. The song is Bad One. Yeah, my head up in the sky again, but even that my stacks are higher than money pile like Tony Stark's. That's how much I earn, man. Girl, my head is swole. I feel incredible as the Hulk, meaning I'm trying to smash. So come get in line like Santa and climb up inside my lap while I devise a plan. Won't be talking about Purell when Santa ties your hands. And I am an industrial strength high-end brand frying pan. Rap is something that I've just had the skill at for some time, and an artist who can draw a crowd like a diagram, like drawing breath from your diaphragm. I've achieved every aspiration that I have had. Okay, wrecking or rapping, you must choose one.
That was very long. I'm gonna go wrecking.
I'm gonna go with Wrecking because it sounds very Nicki Minaj.
I miss the old Kanye.
I'm gonna give you a Mr. Onion or Master Onion.
A Master Onion? I don't understand the reference.
From
For Rapper to Rapper.
for Rapper the Rapper.
Okay. Some Dreamcast. Whatever happened to Power Stone?
No, that's
That was
PS1.
quite fun.
Oh man, Power Stone and Power Stone
cares?
2.
But
was the
Parappa
game.
the
One of the
Rappa.
top
Well, I
fighting
guess I know.
games?
I've only played the demo in GameStop. Whatever happened to
I've
GameStop?
never played the real game, just the demo, forever and ever.
Okay.
GameStop is still around.
GameStop still exists.
I actually heard GameStop
Yeah.
is currently trying to go retro and now going back to carrying games for consoles that aren't like still mass produced.
I wish consoles still had physical games.
Yo, I only buy physical games.
I heard
I wish I still had a Virtual
sentence
Boy.
about buying games that if buying doesn't equal owning, then piracy doesn't equal stealing. What do you think of that?
I like that.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Okay.
If you buy it, don't you own it? Because when you're down,
No, there's the
But they
but
say that.
think about all the
that's
movies you
not
can
the
buy on,
case with.
on cable,
I was thinking of the game.
and they can take those away
yeah.
because they lose the rights to it. But
The-
like I paid what $15-$20 for that movie.
that huge thing
And
happened
you
with
can take
the
it.
PlayStation Network where they had all of these old games all the movies that they lost the rights. Sony doesn't have the rights for. It's so weird that you guys are looking at me like are we making eye contact now? Sony lost all the rights to the contracts, so they lost every movie you bought through the PSN network.
Yeah.
You just lose
Yeah,
them.
that I know.
And
I
they
was
do that with
affected by that.
games
Very
too.
upset.
Like you can buy a game and they'll delist it, but so it's like you
Yeah,
don't
but
own
I
it.
feel like you still have the game if you have it downloaded. It stays on your system.
Well, I guess
It's
if
on
you-
your-
Maybe.
If you do the updates, it'll
Yeah.
take it
A
off.
lot of times now, because games are so large, what you end up doing is deleting the save file and it stays in the cloud. But because it's in the cloud, you can't re-download the game. You just have the memory saved.
You're talking to the microphone, not the room,
Well,
Alex.
What?
Talk to the microphone, not to the people in the room.
That's fair. I didn't realize how close it was or not. It's so weird
Um,
trying to make eye contact with people. I already don't do that well to begin with.
Yeah, like I said, you guys are killing me with this setup.
I'm
So yeah, I
sorry
did the
to all
whole
listeners.
verse because there were a couple lines in that I want to go over. I mean, you probably caught the Tony Stark "I earn man." I won't be talking about Purell when Santa ties your hands. I just like the diaphragm rhyme, but then also with diaphragm, there's I've achieved every aspiration that I've had. So there's a double entendre of aspiration, meaning goals as well as breathing. And what I had to say with that is understanding these lines is human. When doing so, part of our body is activated that is exclusive to humans. You'll never hear an animal do a double entendre. One of the reasons we do the raps and wordplay is because there is a battle against the machines where I want them to be confused as to what I said.
So you're trying to outsmart AI? So you're telling me?
Yeah, but I was thinking it's not that hard to outsmart them because they still have to be programmed. Like
They still
if-
can't do hands right.
There's one going around right now where if you ask ChatGPT or Gemini AI or I think a few others, how many R's are in the word strawberry, it tells you the wrong answer every time. I
Interesting.
tried it today. It is wrong.
I saw
It
Hobby
tells you
Lobby.
2 or 1, but not 3.
I saw Hobby Lobby is selling AI generated
Actually, do know
art,
how many
and
words
yes,
there
the
were.
hands are still like messed up.
Well, Michaels does that too,
Well,
but
yeah,
Michaels
same.
also has apparently gotten caught with stealing people's art online and then just making that prints.
Well,
Yeah, I've heard that like years ago. They would
see,
just
in fairness,
take it.
A lot of
Fine now.
tattoo artists also can't do people's hands and fingers right.
Yeah, it makes
Well,
me
there's
think
that,
just cartoons have been doing the four fingers forever.
yeah, the guy who drew Deadpool originally, like that's the whole joke is that he can't draw feet, and that's why they made that joke in the Deadpool movie.
Oh, I didn't see it.
I don't know the
I
guy's.
never saw it.
It's in the trailer
I saw
when
the
they're
first
walking
one.
down the street and there's a shoe store behind them. That's an inside joke toward the guy who draws Deadpool and how he can't draw feet. So it's his name, Foot Shop or whatever.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
cool.
right.
I guess
So
it's
you
too
with
nerdy
these
for everybody.
rhymes, you may think it's so what? It's complicated words. There's a lot of rappers who can do complicated, but they can't do hooks and bangers. Kendrick's first Drake diss was Euphoria, a 6-minute complicated song, which was nice of him to hide it in a song which the general public won't really listen to. The nail in the coffin came when he released Not Like Us, a banger that took Drake's records for most plays and was Song of the Summer. Adult men with self-respect don't need to be in the club, but stay sharp. Have you guys been in the club lately? Catchy in the club?
No.
That's good.
What club?
And we're staying sharp
No.
with
Go to the wrestling
Shakespeare.
club.
We're still on Taming of the Shrew, Act 1, Scene 1. A lord is playing a prank on the drunkard he found sleeping on the street by taking him to a royal chamber and treating him as royalty. Here he will employ a boy to act as the drunk's queen when he wakes. Sirrah, go to Bartholomew, my page, and see him dressed in all suits like a lady. That done, conduct him to the drunkard's chamber, and call him madam. Do him obeisance. Tell him from me, as he will win my love, he bear himself with honorable action, such as he hath observed in noble ladies, unto their lords, by them accomplished. Such duties to the drunkard let him do, with soft low tongue and low courtesy, and say, what is it your honor will command, wherein your lady and your humble wife may show her duty and make known her love? And then, with kind embracement, tempting kisses, and with declining head into his bosom, bid him shed tears, as being overjoyed to see her noble lord restored to health, who for this 7 years hath esteemed him no better than a poor and loathsome beggar. And if the boy have not a woman's gift to rain a shower of commanded tears, an onion will do well for such a shift, which in a napkin being close conveyed shall in despite enforce a watery eye. See this dispatched with all the haste thou canst. Anon I'll give thee more instructions.
That is absolutely a crime.
I want to go on
Which part?
record as being against paying small boys to dress as anyone and go into anyone's bosom.
That's probably a good thing to be on the record of. But he's a
Yeah.
page. What can't a lord make his page do whatever he wants?
I mean, probably not that though.
I might need to call
don't
my
we still have
pages
pages
back.
I'm gonna say
today?
no.
Yeah, like pages are still a thing. They're like interns.
They're interns. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's been
So
sleeping
you
in the
Basically, we're
barn.
gonna enter this.
Like they have to still be over 18. And
I mean, I feel like if anyone was going to have a page, it would be Chris.
Yeah, and I don't
I
think
hope is he of voting age?
the country's laws do not apply to the lord in his realm. So he doesn't have to be 18.
I mean, he's the one that makes the laws.
Yeah,
Rules
exactly.
For thee, but not for me.
Precisely.
Yeah.
So the page will continue resting in the drunkard's bosom. On to the topic of the episode. I know the old me is dying. So
There's a
what I
topic?
do now has little effect, yet I must do something. In my last podcast, my advice to live every minute was to read, to expand my world. Because our vision is limited, any assumption will be wrong, like Plato's cave. The more perspectives I can get through space and time, the better the image I can produce in mine. Like 2 eyes are better than wine. Did I lose you there?
2 eyes are better than one.
Yeah, but you didn't say one. You said Juan.
Yeah. It rhymed with mine and time.
Okay, I wasn't sure if like there was some sort of a play on words there.
I guess that was the play on the bending of
My
words.
animal brain didn't get it.
Low. I
So you're
suppose
saying
you
you're
could
a word bender?
you could be closer to animal than human.
Oh,
How do you feel about
is
sleeping in the
human.
barn?
I mean, I'm pretty good at sleeping almost anywhere. I just need a pillow.
You just need that hay to just.
Yeah,
if I can
it's going to
flop
be
it
a
off my
stack of
head.
hay.
Yeah, but if there was a sack on it or something.
Humans sleep in barns.
Yeah.
There's that book you're gonna read from later. There's a story about some baby that is like born in a barn.
Yeah, that's a manger. That's not a barn. Those are completely
I would
different.
have to agree with him. A manger and a barn are two different things.
Completely different things.
What is
a
the
barn.
difference? If you say
Someone
there's
would
a
have to look it
difference,
up.
can you explain what the difference is?
Okay.
Manger is much smaller than a barn.
Here's the thing. What's the difference between a veranda and a patio? Or sorry, a porch and a veranda.
A veranda.
Does
A
a veranda have a
doesn't
view?
necessarily have to be attached.
A veranda is open.
A veranda has to have a roof.
Patio doesn't have to be.
A porch
A
Doesn't
porch does
have
not
to
have
have
to
a
have a
roof?
roof. A veranda has to
doesn't
have a
have
top.
to. Okay.
A veranda. Has
But
no
what's the difference
walls.
between
It's
a
open
vestibule and a
surrounded.
veranda? Then?
I don't know what a vestibule is, so I can't tell you that.
Vestibule, the entryway.
What's the difference between an entryway, a breezeway, and a vestibule?
What's the difference between a mud room and a sunroom?
Isn't a breezeway like a
You guys are
hallway?
killing me. Is it fair to say
I hope
you
it's all
guys
safe,
don't care to read? Is it because it's hard or time consuming?
I would say it's more time consuming than
Mm-hmm. Is
I know,
that
I
is
can
that
read letters.
would that be a reason that you choose not to like
Well,
I talk
what?
say it's the most important thing in the making your time count. You don't feel
Like
that
read
way.
a book?
Yeah.
So like instead of reading, what I use is like books on tape, or I guess Audible is the new term for that.
They've got a
Or
monopoly.
yeah, listening to like instruction or whatever. Because I have the time for that. Like when I'm commuting to work or if I'm going somewhere and I have time, instead of listening to music, getting hyped up, I could just listen to a particular story or something like that. You feel like it gives the same amount of value. But like sitting down when I have quiet time, opening up a book and reading it just puts me to sleep.
Oh yeah, if I start reading words, I get tired.
To me, it's more
I
like
read
going
it
to
like
the gym.
I read it like a 6th grade level, so I really can't read books.
So like if I go to the gym, I can listen to a book.
No, I mean
Two birds,
that
one stone.
to me it's
both of
like,
those.
okay, I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to accomplish these goals, and I'm going to get at it. So that's why I'm not getting
It's a gym
tired.
of the mind.
I'm reading with force.
Well, the problem I think I have is if I'm sitting down to read, my hands are free. If my hands are free, I could do other things besides just hold a book.
Prefers to multitask and do other stuff.
Yeah, which
Sometimes.
audiobooks are good
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
It's also fair to say, at least for the Ben and Flizzo, that you guys like to watch sports. And why do you watch sports? Is it if to me it feels repetitive? That's the same thing again and again.
I wouldn't say it's repetitive. You get to see what strategies get employed in, I guess, defeating an opponent. So sometimes a bad team would go about it and it's repetitive. Like they keep trying the same strategy over and over again, and it's just not working. That's when you don't enjoy the game. But it's like, okay, let's see how they're gonna attack this person, this guy, this play, this defense, this offense, and seeing all of those different strategies kind of gives you that's the sense of entertainment. It's like, okay, how are they gonna do it this time? Okay, they're gonna do a cover 3 instead of cover 1 in this defense, or they're gonna run the wildcat offense instead of running the traditional shotgun. So it's just a variety of ways to defeat an opponent.
I like
Yeah.
to watch any competition. Like I've watched chess tournaments. Speed walking was great until this Olympics, where everybody now points out that using their cameras, they're just running.
Yeah, did they change the rules?
No.
Oh, so they just don't follow them anymore.
They never did.
Okay.
Yes. No. Well,
You
they
just have to
used
make it look like you're
follow-
running or walking.
Yeah, but now because of all cameras and everything that can tell much closer, they're like, yeah, the refs are just
The rules for speed walking is you have to have at least
Yeah.
1 foot on the ground
It's-
at all times.
It's like horses.
Yeah.
They used to think that they were off the ground, or maybe it's the other way. They used to
Well, no,
think that 1
horses
foot was always
are-
on the ground,
There,
but then
there is a
someone
time where
proved.
horses have no feet on the ground.
Yeah, so
when
but
they're
they
running,
used to
but-
think it was the other way until somebody could prove that they were
Well,
actually in the
Well,
ground.
yeah, when you
or off.
run, there's a time where you don't have your feet on the ground.
So all speed
That's the
walkers are
point of-
cheating.
Yeah,
Or
Even in the
yes.
Olympics.
competitive
So-
ones.
they actually, in the
Yeah.
Olympics, they have technology that can tell, like they can have sensors in your shoes that they can register if 1 foot's always on the ground and all that stuff. They've directly said, no, we don't want to use that.
But it's not as bad as running though. Like running, there's a clear like you're just off the ground for this amount of time. Speed walking, it's very minimum, but it does happen.
Is there casual speed walking competitions
around the mall?
What?
You said competitive speed
If
walking.
it's a competition, yeah.
Oh
You
yeah,
gotta
I
get
did
up to
want to
that
ask
level.
why do you like just watching competition? Any competition,
Just
Ben?
all the adapting of seeing how people handle things and how you exchange and what your approach is to different situations. Like it's not always the same.
Seeing people dig deep in like their soul and like come up with a victory, just like they're pressed against the wall and they have to just give it their all for 30 seconds. Seeing stuff like that is always amazing to me.
They're not just going out there
that can
doing
be our
a set
lives.
routine.
I mean, it is.
He didn't say it wasn't amazing then.
Yeah.
So
like,
for me,
you have to adapt. You're not just doing all your planned out. Like you're not just doing set routines. If you are, your life is weird because you don't know what's going to happen. Maybe you plan to do something and it's raining, so now I got to change what I'm going to do.
For me, the desire to know more or be better is a desire to do good or know God. We are born into Plato's cave, but once I saw there was more out there, I thought, why not me? If there is only one Lord, who's to say I can't be king? If I truly believe I can be more, then shame on me for not trying. How do you feel about that in the eyes of competition then?
I feel that the only thing that says you're king is the thing you rule over. Like if you don't have anyone who believes you're king, you're not really king.
So the power comes from the
I
people,
believe
is
it.
what you're saying.
No, but even
I
if you
believe
believe it,
it.
but if you have no one, that listens to you, what does it matter? What are you king of?
What does it matter if people listen to me? What are you king of? Jesus is still above
Then you're
you.
king nothing.
Yeah, but then why even put a title to it? You're not anything.
Well, you're great.
If no one else calls you king.
Or you're trying to be
You're
great.
king.
You're trying
I
to
don't know.
get
I mean,
closer to God is how I see it.
This seems like an interesting segue to The Little Prince.
So I would say to your original question is you want to always strive to be better. So like I guess being king is the ultimate better or I guess something
It's just a
close
summary
to it.
of better, I guess.
Yeah, where you're like, all right, I'm going to try to be at the top of whatever thing I'm chasing. So you're always trying to reach that mountaintop, that peak. So if you're not the king, then you need to strive to be the king.
Here.
Yeah, I mean that's different.
You got to beat the best to be the best.
Trying to be the greatest you can be, the best. But you being king, you need followers. You need to rule over something. You can't just be king of nothing. That's like being the king of the last king of Scotland, the guy that just declared himself as king of Scotland. So, he wasn't king of Scotland.
Why not?
Was he even in Scotland?
No, he was in Africa. I don't remember exactly what country.
Because if no one follows you, you're not a king of anything.
But
what if the last king of Scotland?
But why? How can you have followers and not be a king as well, though? So the followers doesn't
be
make
a social
king.
media influencer.
So yeah, how many followers do you have?
I don't know. Something like 90.
The followers will allow you to put the title king into place.
Yeah. If they will
acknowledge I only need one follower, and that's me. Please take a moment to subscribe or follow the channel. Alex, is anything wrecking your week, or was that The Little Prince is wrecking your week?
Don't worry. Plenty of stuff always wrecking you.
This one is super niche, so I mean, I'm sorry about that, but Route 84 in Connecticut.
Okay, all our Connecticut followers will be upset or happy.
No, they won't be upset because everyone I talk to about it, the one person, agrees that people on Route 84 just forget how to drive. For some reason, on Route 84, it's only majority it's only 2 lanes. I can't be any closer.
You're moving your hand as you talk.
Well, I can't help that one. That people just want to hit their brakes in the middle just for no reason at all. And one person will stop and it will block the entire highway.
They want to make sure you're paying attention.
No, but the thing is because then you're like, cool, look, the GPS says it's a red line, so we'll be in traffic for 15 minutes. And then you're like going and you're going to expect to see anything. And then it's just like, no, there was nothing. There was nothing on the road. Nothing happened anywhere. One person hit their brakes and the whole highway just shuts off.
That's the Jersey Turnpike. the whole way.
Yeah, but then the person I was talking to in Connecticut about it, I was like, "Yeah, Route 84 stinks," and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, it happens all the time." And apparently it does. People just break in the middle of Route 84, and it just causes so many backups. And so Route 84 is really upsetting me in Connecticut.
So
I don't
stay
know how
off
far
of
it goes.
Route 84 in Connecticut. Blizzo,
Route
does anything
worse.
happen in this week in history?
Yeah, so this week in history in 2005, Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans. That was one of the biggest natural disasters in U.S. history, most costly. And also it took about over 1,800 lives. And it had a terrible federal response from the government and was basically ignored in the beginning by leadership of the country at the time.
Yeah. No, due to censorship, we cannot say famous line.
But yeah, it was a tragic moment in American history with a lot of hubris with how the levees were gonna stand up to that storm and not being prepared for it to hit the city or anything like that. So
Yeah,
it's a
and I've been
big moment in
to
history.
New Orleans post at least 2016 or 15, and there's still parts that just never recovered, and it's probably still that way, that just don't, like, got ignored and forgotten. But New Orleans is a great city.
And then you hear stories about what happened during that whole thing, where you hear about the looting, and then you hear about just people surviving, like where the news kind of broadcast different types of people in different lights. There was certain figures said they were shooting,
Mm-hmm.
Proven to be a lie.
which
Yeah,
it was either a lie or they were telling the truth. Either way, it was like a horrible situation. Like you either think that was okay to do or think it was okay to lie about.
Doesn't it flood a lot though?
What's that?
Doesn't
Well,
it
it
flood all
is
the time?
on the coast.
Not to the extent that it flooded.
No, it's below sea level.
Yeah, that's what the levees are made for. It's because it's below sea level. The problem was they usually hold to a certain level, and they might spill over during a flood. But what happens was the sea level rose and then they broke, and then it just let everything through. There was no controlling it. So
And then
This
that
week
guy
in
lied a
history.
whole bunch in his book about all the people he sniped.
The American
yeah,
stuff,
coming out of department stores or stores, like it was.
The Ben,
Just
do you have any
all these
obscure
things.
movie facts you'd like to share with us?
I just know a bunch of random stuff.
Well, would you like to
Um,
share one,
do you kn-
or should I move
Do
to
you,
the
want, do you know what Orson Welles' last movie was?
Pinky and the Brain?
Yeah, 1986 Transformers, the movie.
Transformers, the cartoon movie.
He was
Dare to
the
be
Planet
stupid.
Eater Unicron.
He played
Wah
Unicron?
weep nah, wah weep
Yeah,
Unicron.
Yeah, he was the voice of Unicron.
Yeah, that was
So,
his
but
last
he didn't
movie.
direct
I don't
it,
know why I know that.
or did he?
No, he was in it though. It was the last one he was in.
That was-
Orson Welles did
That'd be a
not
wild
direct.
Well, I guess
direction.
technically he's not in it. He only voiced it.
Okay.
The
That-
voice
so
cast
that's-
in that movie, though, is very
Yeah, that's
star-studded.
strange. Well, that's the Ben's obscure
Do you
movie
know
fact.
Raul Julia's last movie?
We can
Street
only do
Fighter?
one obscure movie fact a week, please, the Ben.
If you keep doing it.
No. We're moving on to the Lord's book now. When people tell an alternative history or history that isn't socially acceptable, what they're saying is it's not a story the Jedi would tell you. Let's find out the truth of how the world will end. Today we're
The
reading
Jedi are liars.
Revelations 22 verses 12 through 21. So this is the end of the
Scary
Bible.
book.
For without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. I, Jesus, have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David, and the bright and morning star. And the Spirit and the bride say, Come. And let him that heareth say, Come. And let him that is athirst come. and whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life, and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book. He which testifieth these things saith, Surely I come quickly. Amen. Even so, come, Lord Jesus. The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with you all. Amen.
How do they
Amen.
quote Jesus in the book of Revelations that is in the future at the end of the world? You can't future quote someone.
Jesus sends the angel to John. So this is the Revelations is written by John. And so he was visited by this angel, and the angel gave him this revelation. So that's how he's quoting Jesus.
So it's a prophecy.
Yeah, but the quote part is,
I guess, but in a
I
sense,
have
it's
an issue
also
with.
already happened because, God beginning and end.
You're saying time is sexy.
I'm saying
Time
time
is
doesn't,
repeat.
God isn't affected by time, is what I would say. Because I'm calm, you don't understand how angry I am. When I come back, I'm determined to destroy my goals, and not just my goals, but anything that stands in my way. Because how dare they? The world is mine, and if you want to see why I'm king, then come and try the throne. Does that make me king yet?
I thought you were just gonna cut out right there and just be done. Like I thought you were gonna end it on that. Like
You
come
come at
back,
the king,
boom.
you best not
And then
miss.
it goes
Yeah.
silent for 15 minutes, and then he comes back and goes, "Now for 24."
Yeah,
You're
that
just
sounds
yelling
good.
at us for continue to talk and be.
Yeah, sorry
us.
if your audio is turned up too high then.
We're making it a neurodiverse podcast.
Why is it diverse?
Neurodiversity?
We already had that covered.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
you guys had that covered.
Yeah, like
Yeah, no, well, yeah. That's like Alex brings it, and then I just up it to notch. Oh, yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah,
went
well,
there.
yeah,
We're
that's
having the conversation about in high school that Alex never officially got an IEP, but
it's
he
still
just
shenanigans.
like
IEP.
it's just like he's related to
Yeah,
this
an
guy.
IEP for learning
So just
assistance.
like
I was
yeah.
never tested in high school because Ben had one, and they just didn't want to waste the time.
Yeah. They just like he's this guy's brother, so yeah,
Yeah, it
there's
was just
definitely
like,
not
"Oh, it's
right.
good enough."
So
So that's one of the things that infuriates me to this day is that my wife was placed in gifted classes, but I was
Placed in
never
it?
tested for that. And so it's probably because you guys
Yeah,
screwed
no,
me
probably.
over.
it's the same test.
Well, I never
The,
got it. Just
Yeah,
like
and,
Alex never did, I guess.
I got it every 2 to 4 years.
Yeah, and then they were
Well,
just like, it's close enough.
couldn't you have thrown some of them my way?
If you can take it
Well,
now, it's
isn't that why you
What good does it do me
you
now?
pieced out?
Well, yeah, exactly. That's why I pieced out, and now I do my own learning. That's why we have the podcast. So
I was never in special
to keep
whatever,
pushing
the special
myself.
class. No,
Special
never
Olympics?
in the
Or the
honors
special
classes
services?
no, I
Well,
was
yeah,
in the
but
special classes of.
you're claiming that your results took you the other way, which I still would disagree with. Ben, you're a king in my eyes.
I mean, you can't disagree with medical diagnoses.
Yes, I
That kind
can.
of goes against all the stuff I have going. I need that medicine.
Well, I'm not going to take away the medicine. I'm just going
Well, the
to.
diagnosis goes with that.
Yeah, but that's their diagnosis and their medicine. My diagnosis is kingly and that we should all strive for greatness. Because at what age are you guys comfortable with being passed by one of our next of kin? If you think if you're 50 and a kid can beat you in a race, that's okay. Are you okay with my daughter correcting your spelling? In recent years, I thought I could physically beat up my dad and realized, of course I can. It would be a guy in his prime beating up a senior citizen.
Up on the beach, stared at me in disgust.
So I think correcting your grammar, I think, or like whatever your spelling or whatever. A little kid, they're being taught that, so it's like those rules are fresh in their brain. So I'm like, okay, yeah, you can correct me on like how I'm saying things because I haven't done it in 20 plus years. Beating somebody up though, yeah, I think it's you're still in the prime of your life.
I mean,
at this
little
stage.
kids are fast, though.
No, they're not.
They got tiny legs.
They're like, all right, they're quick in like short distances.
Wait,
But
yeah,
if I'm
that's
doing the
the-
100
they'll
meter
run out of
dash,
breath.
I'm beating that kid every single time. There's no
Well,
way I'm
and-
not beating that kid.
Until what point? But you could stop right
High
now
school.
and start like getting lazy and letting your legs atrophy until maybe by the end of the year you might not be able to beat them.
So I'm okay with a high schooler beating me in the 100 meter. I am not okay with a middle schooler beating with me in the 100 meter dash.
Okay.
There's a guy who's I guess like an ex track runner. I don't know if he was famous or not, but he is on Instagram, and every year he races his son.
Yeah, I've
Like
seen
his
that.
birthday or his kid's birthday, I don't know which one it
Oh.
is, but like the kid is getting closer and closer to beating him, and like every
Mhm.
time he talks to his wife, you can like see that he's like, yeah, this isn't good. I'm gonna have to cheat.
Yeah.
It's
Bandit has to cheat to be
see.
Bluey.
I don't like that sense of like kind of beating the kid down. Is like because if you are a track runner, then
But
it's like
aren't you
this is
giving
my
them something
thing.
to strive to and be better? As
Possibly,
you're saying that's the point.
but it can go both ways, right? Like you don't know how the kid will take it. That's what I'm
isn't that
saying.
with
Well, yeah,
anyone?
that's fair, and I mean that's where what is it? Generational trauma comes from.
Hmm. So do you think I
Uh,
will be traumatizing my kid if I strive for greatness? Should I stop now so that
if
they can catch
if you
up?
try to physically beat her in her prime, yeah.
I think it's like the Flynn effect that your kids will be better at you at anything physical. Just
But that's
it
also
goes
the
to
goal.
Yeah.
well,
Each
yeah,
But
well,
generation wants to leave the generation behind them with.
it's
that
easy.
angst
You can
boomers.
learn things quicker from
the
somebody that
the
knows it.
Flynn
I know.
effect
Yeah, yeah.
is that each generation has a higher IQ. I think it's 20 IQ points higher than the previous generation for them
Hmm.
because they start off their baseline is higher. Like my 5-year-old is great with an iPad. I didn't have an iPad when I was 5.
I mean, if you did, that'd be impressive.
He can also climb a straight wall though, so
Yeah, but
he's
can
got-
he build a
Spider-Man
house?
can't climb a straight wall.
I guess
What?
Spider-Man
I
can.
mean,
Yeah, I guess I can.
oh,
Is an
technically not.
Alzheimer
He's the Scarlet
patient
Spider.
is an Alzheimer's patient still alive?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well,
What?
that covers all
I
my
think
questions then. We're up to
you
24.
confuse being alive and
Living.
like the idea of being a human.
7,
Yeah.
6, 2,
The
1.
numbers are 7, 6, 2, and 1.
Look
Answer
at that. The
24.
numbers again are 6
So,
and 4.
Yeah, 7
Always 6
times
and
6,
4.
42,
What?
right?
7 times
2 plus 1 is 3. 7 minus 3 is 4. 6 times 4.
Wait,
Alex has that. Where are you going with 42, though? I'd like to know
40
that.
7 times 6 is 42. Divided
okay.
by 2
Is
is
21.
24.
But like, why are you
Is
going around the
21.
across the street?
no cursing.
Past 24 to get back to 24.
But
As
42
long as you
divided by
end up
2 is
at the
21.
end, it's about the
Got
journey.
that wrong.
Oh, it's about the
Okay. All right. Well, it's true. It's
can't
about the
see-
friends that we made along the way of math, not about
It's
getting
about
any
the numbers we
numbers.
left behind.
You know what? I'm out of here.
Yeah.
like 6
That's
and
fine.
4
So,
42.
final thought. I love my girls. The Ben wants you to check out Mama of 3 Boutique on Etsy for all your Philly Pride needs. Message on Instagram for custom orders. All links in the description. Find Flizzo on Instagram. That's PHLIZO. Follow Alex on Google Maps. Check out my website, drawingmylifeaway.com. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a nice day. Goodbye.
Bye.
This